Welcome to Integrative Inquiry, Week 2, Attention Regulation.
Let's begin with a grounding, that gentle grounding, the seat on the chair, the feet on the floor. Noticing the back upright, get relaxed. Noticing where the hands are placed. Bringing a gentle softening of the eyes, looking down or at this image as if you're looking but not really seeing. Perhaps inviting the eyes to close. Just anchoring into this chair in this moment, sensing the support of the chair. And then whenever you're ready, just bringing a hand gently to the belly. Noticing the inhale, exhale, and the rise and the fall of the belly. And as you notice other sounds, other bodily sensations, other thoughts, past, future, see if you can gently name what you're noticing with one word without getting lost in the story of what you're noticing, just noticing it. And then gently guiding your attention back to the breath sensation in the belly. And then whenever you're ready, gently bringing your attention back to sound sensation. In particular, the invitation is to listen to this sound of the bell. See if you can notice when it begins, when it ends, and perhaps all the variations in between. And then one more time, bringing a full, gentle attention to listening to the sound of the bell. And this time, raising your hand if you're able to do so where you are when you hear the ending of the sound sensation. Okay, thank you. So what did you notice? Yeah, you likely noticed perhaps the beginning of the sound, perhaps the end. Maybe some of you even noticed the variations of the sound. Sometimes people notice different intonations, different tones. And then sometimes people notice that they wouldn't really be able to focus on the sound. They were thinking about a past experience or a future to-do list. So they notice all sorts of things. And the congratulations here is that you notice, And the invitation is, and once you notice what you're noticing, can you invite your attention to rest gently back on the object of attention you'd like for it to rest upon? Whether that's the breath in the belly, the seat in the chair, the sound, or writing, or whatever the task might be that you want your attention to rest fully on. So this is what it looks like when our brain is having this sort of focused, sustained attention. It's really igniting this portion of the brain. And mind wandering uses a lot, as you can see, it activates a lot of the regions of the brain. And the point here is that mind wandering appears to be a default network of the brain. So if we're just not paying attention to what we're paying attention, it's likely that our mind will wander. We might be daydreaming, we might be reliving an experience of the past, we might be rehearsing a moment in the future. And the idea here is that a lot of neurological energy is going to past or future, and maybe not because we will for it to, because we want it to. It's just simply the default. So I'm going to say that again. A lot of our neurological energy can be going to the past or the future, and we may not be wanting it there. It's just a mind wandering to the past or to the future. So the idea of attention regulation is that we want to cultivate this gentle awareness of where our attention is resting so that we can become aware of, I'm distracted. Here's that anterior cingulate cortex. It's evolved in the anterior insula. These are evolved in becoming aware of, I'm distracted. This is not, my attention is not where I want it to be. Oh, offer kindness. This is a normal human thing. Everyone's brain wanders. Of course, mine does too. And it's wandering right now. And I noticed. So I'm going to invite my attention. Then there's some effort in inviting my attention back to what I'd like for it to be. And voila, boom, it's back. Sustained attention on where I'd like for my attention to rest. So this is the process that the brain is going through. And so when we think about this, this is a normal process. And I'm practicing this multiple times a day. I'm paying attention. Oh, my mind wanders. I may not want it to wander. I notice it's wandering. I invite it back, reorienting attention back to here. This is the process. So this is what's happening with your brain. Isn't this fun? This is what's happening. But here's the point. Notice the neurological energy here. Yeah, or the different parts of the regions that are engaged with mind wandering. So the idea here is that we don't actually, maybe we don't feel like it's a lot of effort, right? And that's exactly what we want to invite you into in just this regaining of attention back to, for instance, the focused breath. Now we use awareness of breath as an attention regulation training practice for a lot of reasons. One, again, it's this built-in neurological softener, if you will, soother of that reactive amygdala system. And so focusing on the breath can bring back the reactivity. Remember that we can't control those things that will cause us stress. They just will. So it's not to avoid being stressed at all. It's to more quickly notice, ooh, I'm stressed. How would I like to respond to it? Or, ooh, I want to be focused on this project and I'm distracted. How would I like to respond to this awareness that I'm distracted? So it's this gentle attention. And oftentimes before we practice, we might set an intention, I-N-T-E-N-T-I-O-N, an intention for where our attention will go. So in this case, you might have an intention to reduce stress or increase well-being. You might have an intention to reduce anxiety. So you're setting an intention for your practice. And then you're just inviting your attention to rest on following the breath, just a normal breathing. So you're not trying to control the breath. It's not inhale, exhale. It's just, oh, what is my inhale doing? What is my exhale doing? And then we notice whether our attention is focused, just right on the breath sensation, perhaps in the belly, or maybe I'm noticing the whole process of breathing. I'm noticing whether the air is warm or cool, whether my air is dry or moist. Maybe I'm noticing a breath in the belly and the chest. Maybe I'm noticing it pass over my nostrils or through my larynx. Maybe I'm noticing all of this. Right? So we're noticing then when we become distracted, because you will. The mind wanders. It's just a normal human being. So the point here is not to become just so expert at paying attention. I mean, you can have that as your intention if you like, but the idea is to just notice, oh, now my mind wandering, past, future, and just noticing and naming it gently, softly, quietly with one word. Past, future, pain, sound, right? Just noticing whether I'm starting to go in the story. Oh, my neighbor is doing blah, blah, blah. Why is my neighbor doing blah, 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 right? Noticing that, and then pausing, hitting the pause button. Oops. More distraction, right? I'd like to regain my attention. So I'm going to do that. And as I regain my attention, I also notice the attitude at which I'm regaining the attention. Is it kind? Of course, I got distracted. I'm a human being. Human beings get distracted. Am I curious as to, let's just notice this process of bringing back the attention? Or am I self-critical? Ugh, darn it, I lost attention again. Right? And what happens when we're self-critical? Then we move back into distraction. We move back into storytelling. Right? And we get really lost in a story of how horrible we are and we're never going to get this right, versus just going, there's distraction again. Ooh, there's self-critic again. Right? And then just inviting it back to following the breath. So as you look at this focused breathing process, you can see there's a lot of, there's effort in here, but there's also effortlessness. And what I mean by that is it's not like, okay, everybody look to the right side of the PowerPoint. Okay, you just look to the right side of the PowerPoint. Okay, now look to the left side. Bring your attention to the left side. So it's sort of a gentle attention. It's not looking at the right side of the PowerPoint, looking at the left side of the PowerPoint, right? It's not like that. It's not a lot of effort. It's like effortlessness. But this is a normal process of mind wandering and bringing it back. We invite in this playful curiosity and kindness because Judson Brewer's research is showing that when we bring this playful curiosity and kindness to noticing what we're noticing, we begin to work with our reward system. Like, who doesn't enjoy play? Yeah, who doesn't enjoy kindness? It gives us a nice dopamine hit, like, yeah, I want some more of that. I want some more play. I want some more kindness. So when we bring this playful curiosity and kindness to our noticing what we're noticing, it rewards our noticing what we're noticing. So it's not this, work. I got to notice what I'm noticing. Got to follow my breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Right? It's not that. It's like this just little playful kindness. So we can again work with our rich neurology and all the gifts that it has to work with us and for us rather than against us. So as we practice this week, again, lots of practices in your formal guided practice or your informal practices, I'm going to invite in noticing what you're noticing the redirecting of attention back onto the desired object of attention, whether that's your work, whether it's listening to your coworker or your colleague or your partner, whether it's even enjoying some food or a fresh glass of water. So bringing your attention back, noticing even walking, enjoying a flower in nature, or the sunshine on the skin. Just noticing a redirecting of attention with effortlessness. And what you can also do is set your intention for what guides your attention. So before recording this, I set an intention for you to just feel richly loved and richly supported in these practices. This is my intention for this recording. Of course, there's intentions that you take away particular lessons that support your directing your attention, but this intention allows us to guide our attention toward something. And remember that anything can become the object of your attention. And as you engage in this practice of awareness, I won't remind you of this every week, but we're building our neurology, so I'm going to remind you of this for a couple of weeks. So inviting in, again, that playful curiosity. We're not striving, we're not avoiding, we're not pushing away what we're noticing, we're just noticing. Naming it gently, with one word, quietly, bringing a lot of kindness, a lot of grace. This is a part of being human. To have the mind wandering, to have that reactive amygdala, there's nothing wrong with you. This is all part of being human. So a lot of generosity, a lot of self-caring in this, a non-judgment to what you're noticing. You might notice immediate yum or yuck. See if you can load that in a balloon, that helium balloon, let it go, and then you can take it back when you're done practicing. All right, what's this? And then just an honoring of what is it that you're being noticed? Honoring what is being noticed does not mean we're not going to get about changing what created it, all right? That comes later. Right now, we're just rewiring that neurology to noticing what's here, what's not here. All right, so increasing attention on demand, mind wandering, it's the default mode network of the human brain. You're just being human. There's some effort involved in regaining attention, but it's not like that effort. Just some effort, but a gentle effort. An awareness that attention is distracted helps to regain that focused attention. So when you note, distraction, okay, and set the intention to regain attention too, then we can regain attention on demand. It takes practice. We're just practicing. It's all a practice. And so here are some of our practices we went over. Again, we've got some formal practices that you'll find in your guided audio and some informal practices that you're welcome to explore. If you have questions, please put them up on the discussion board or email me directly. You also have my cell phone. If you'd like to use that, you can text me or give me a call and let me know some dates and times you're available. I'm happy to get back to you. I'm here to support you on your journey. All right, and don't forget to prepare for our in-class practice. Connect with your buddy, post questions, practice that focused breathing daily, practice some focused movement with breath. And I invite you to practice some focused listening, complete your 2-minute journal assignment, and we have a weekly poem for you to reflect on. All right, until next time, enjoy. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care.